Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Kristen's Quarantined Fact of the Day. I don't know why I said it like that. Sorry. This was originally something I created specifically to send my staff while we are all stuck working remotely and are isolated and locked up in our own homes. But I am surprised by the number of people who have asked to also receive this. So, welcome to everybody new. She says as if she's been making these videos for a really long time. This is only the second one, but that's okay. Yeah, it's just my attempt to keep things kind of lighthearted and have some face-to-face interaction with folks. Today's fact of the day, I wanted to talk a bit about the history of the world. I was reading a book fairly recently called A Short History of Nearly Everything by Bill Bryson. He is an Australian author. He's super funny. He writes some really good stuff, actually. This is one of my favorites because Ew, I have a hair in my mouth. I'm so sorry. That was gross. But I don't feel like starting over, so you're welcome. Anyway, it's an awesome book. You should read it if you have some time, which I think most of us find ourselves with a lot of these days. But one of the biggest things in here that blew my mind was when he talked about the history of the world if you compressed it down into 24 hours. So if you imagine the 4,500 billion odd years of Earth's history and you compressed it down into a normal Earth day, so 24 hours, life begins pretty early. It begins at about 4 a.m. with the rise of simple single-celled organisms. Now that means that there's 4 hours of absolutely nothing at all, but that's still pretty early in the day. 4 a.m., simple single-celled organisms come about. Now nothing else happens. Life does not advance any further for another 16 hours. That is 16 out of 24 hours where there is nothing but single-celled organisms floating around on this planet. So, good job, single-celled organisms. Killing it. May I help you, sir? You know, I'm trying to record a video here. You're making that difficult. Don't give me lip. That means it isn't until about 8:30 in the evening. The day is already almost 5/6 over. 8:30 in the evening that the first sea plants start to appear, followed pretty quickly about 20 minutes later by the first jellyfish, things like that. At 9:04 p.m., trilobites swim onto the scene. Those are the little kind of horseshoe crab-looking creatures that are kind of the epitome of fossils. You see them if you go to the museum, things like that. But trilobites come around about 9:04 p.m. They're followed more or less immediately, by the sorts of sea creatures that you can see in the Burgess Shale Formation. So if you have not been to the Burgess Shale Formation, you should check it out or at least Google it. It's cool. I went and dug fossils there once for a summer, and it was amazing. And shale is so fun to dig in because it doesn't take much effort. You just get these huge slabs of shale. You take a chisel, you take a hammer, and you put... Why are you showing your naked butt to the camera? Come down here. Be polite. Thank you. You take your chisel, you put it into the shale, like along the side edge. You tap it a couple of times, and the shale just splits open like a book. And then you look in there, and there's just fossils. It's amazing. It's amazing. I spent years of my life digging things up, and that one just blew my mind. Around 10 p.m., plants start to pop up on land, which is cool. Soon after, less than 2 hours left in the day, the first land creatures start to show up. By about 10:24 p.m., the Earth is covered in the Carboniferous forests that give us all of the coal that we have now. And then the first winged insects start to come onto the scene around then too. Dinosaurs don't show up until just before 11 p.m. and they hang out for like 3/4 of an hour. So they're there till about 11:45 p.m. And again, this is just a 24-hour day, 11:45 p.m. At 21 minutes to midnight, they disappear. The age of mammals starts. 21 minutes to midnight, mammals come around. So the whole of our recorded history as humans on this scale would be no more than a few seconds. A human lifetime is barely even an instant. He has a really good quote. It says, "Throughout this greatly speeded up day, continents slide and bang together at a clip that seems positively reckless. Mountains rise and melt away, ocean basins come and go, ice sheets advance and withdraw, and throughout the whole, about 3 times every minute, somewhere on the planet, there is a flash bob pop of light making an impact of a massive meteor. It's a wonder that anything at all can survive in such a pummeled and unsettled environment. I thought that was a nice note to leave everything off on, just to remember. I know that the world is a crazy place, and for some of us it is a scary place, and I know there are a lot of people out there who are unsure about what things are going to look like going forward, if they have jobs, if they have the resources they need to be able to take care of themselves or their families. But just remember that we're survivors, and it seems scary now, but humans have been through a lot, and we'll come together and we will be okay. Have a good one.